Forever blowing shit bubbles. You can stick your bubbles up your ass. You can stick your bubbles up your ass. You can stick your bubbles. Stick your fucking bubbles. Stick your bubbles up your... Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing? That second half, being at the game, I'm emotionally drained. That second half was not good for your health. Watching Man United, supporting Man United comes with a health warning. I've lost my voice because I was screaming at people like Rashford, people like Bruno, people like just to come and get a grip, Scott McTominay, Fred. But anyway, what a 1-0 win. Hard, absolutely dug it out. Hard fought win. Big up Natalie. Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Rashford. 85th anniversary of Man United having a youth player on that pitch for 85 years. No other football club in this country has ever done that, or even in Europe. Not even anybody that I know in world football that's, plays in the top leagues have done that. So big up Man United. That's Man United DNA. That's Man United traditions. His birthday, 25th birthday tonight. He's going to be partying tonight. I hope he gets there. I hope Ten Hag gives him the day off because he needs it. But he was shattered. I genuinely think that Ten Hag got it wrong in terms of, I think he got the substitutions wrong. I really think that. I think Scott McTominay, they offered nothing. Scott McTominay and they offered absolutely nothing. And Fred. So yeah, it was one of those days. Just one of those days. People. One of those days. And I think Man United got away with it. We got away with it big time, people. I'm not going to lie. I swear to you, I'm not going to lie. We got away with it big time today. But yeah, give a few shout outs. Man of the match. Get your man of the match in, guys. Because I really want to know who do you think that was. Also, like, who you think out of De Gea, Luke Shaw, Delop, they were best. Obviously, Martinez is always massive, innit? He's always amazing. I love him to bits, Martinez. But it was difficult at times. It was difficult, especially in that second half. Big up, Natalie. I listen. I hope Victor recovers from his illness. Maguire, it's not a Ten Hag system, even though he made a block in the second half. Yeah. But did you see the passing? We can't play with Maguire. I'll come to that. That's the point. Big up Natalie for reminding me to talk about Maguire. Maguire, he's not that guy. He's not that guy anymore, people. Genuinely not that guy anymore. Obviously, it's his first game back. We have to be objective. It's his first game back, so he's going to look rusty. But on the ball today, in the first half, longer periods when we were playing it out, try to play out from the back, we were ignoring him. But honestly, it was just one of those games where I just felt like, what the hell is going on? Mundo, I don't know how you saw it. I don't know if you watched it, but in the stadium, second half was absolute horrendous. We were making the wrong decisions. We couldn't string two passes together. And in the last half an hour, 25 minutes, the West Ham just took over. And I absolutely feel that Ten Hag got away with one today because he made the wrong substitutions. Gave us no outlet, whatever. But listen, let me get your match reaction. Big up, bro. Hit me, because you watching it on TV and watching it in the match is totally different, as you know, when you go to the games, innit? You see that. You see the difference. Talk to me. Give me your match reaction, bro.
Everything you just said, I absolutely 100% agree with you. So the first thing I was going to say is Ten Hag nearly cost us that game, because I don't know what he was doing second half with those substitutions. Playing Bruno out wide. He's got no legs. He's not quick. But Tomley came on and didn't really do anything at all. How is it possible that you bring an extra midfielder on and it gets worse? But positives, I thought the defence was fantastic today. All five of them. I want to include Maguire in there because I know See, what I'm judging Maguire on now is I'm not judging him as a starting centre-back for Man United. I'm judging him as a backup centre-back for Man United. And as a backup centre-back for Man United, he did a decent job today. First half, he was poor on the ball. But second half, defensively, he was solid. So I've got to give him his props. Martinez, I'm going to say it now, best post-Fergie signing, in my view. Even this early in his United career, I just think the guy, he epitomizes everything that Man United fans want to see from their player. This guy epitomizes it. A warrior, fighter, quality on the ball. Jamie Carragher can suck it because he was very critical. Oh, he can't play too small for Premier League. He's come up against Scamacca. He's come up against Antonio. He's come up against Kane. He's sat them all down, mate. He's told him, nah, you shall not pass me. See you later. He's just quality. He's so good. Big up as well to the fullbacks. I've been on Dalot a lot this season. But you know what? In hindsight, I might have been a bit harsh because the man plays every game. He's obviously tired. You know, he's up and down fatigue-wise. But today, we saw the defensive side of his game, which was on point. You know, those two headers at the back post. Those crosses used to give us nightmares as Man United when we had Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire. You know, that ball across the box, back post. It's guaranteed goal every game. But yeah, he played well. Shaw played really well. And what we saw today is the reason why we just spent £89 million on a right winger, mate. Now you could see, you know, Elanga. He's got industry. I give him that, right? He pressed or whatever, but he just doesn't have the quality. And Anthony knows how to play that role so well, and we missed him today badly, I think, especially in the press and everything else. And his ability on the ball in tight spaces and knitting things together is very underrated. So we missed him today. The other final point for me, I don't think we can play those three in midfield together. Eriksen, Fernandes, and Casa. Well, no, I want to leave Casa out. We can't play Fernandes and Eriksen in midfield together, in my view. Might be a bit controversial, this, what I'm about to say, and I never thought I'd say this, but I think Fred should start. Seriously.
Which Fred? Stoke Fred or Brazilian Fred?
Today, he really scored today. But you know what? No, seriously, I think the reason why I think Fred should start is because he gives us more legs. It allows us to press. We don't press effectively with those two, with Fernandes and Eriksen. And it'll be interesting because Fernandes is now missing against Villa. So will he play Eriksen in the 10 or is he going to put Fred in the 10?
I'd rather get Donny in the 10.
Or you might try and play Donny. No, I don't think Donny's got the match fitness. But the reason why I say Fred is because I think our best press this season was Tottenham at home.
100%.
100%, yeah.
And Fred was the catalyst.
And that first half against Chelsea.
Yeah, and Fred against Tottenham was the catalyst of that press, and that's what I want to see from the team, that intensity. And I think Fred brings that. And it drops off a little when you've got Fernandes and Eriksen in midfield.
Tom, welcome to the stream. Big up every one of you people. There's nearly 100 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Become part of the family. I've said my piece. I've only said it little bits to it. Maguire, I thought, was absolutely dog shot in that first half. There was large periods of the game they weren't even giving him the ball. Martinez was trying to play, but every time he got on the ball, obviously it's his first game back starting since for quite a while now, nearly a month that he's been injured. But honestly, it's just like he doesn't know how to read it. I thought he dived in a couple of times, a couple of long balls that he played. The team cannot play. It's clear for everybody to see. They cannot play where we can leave 2 against 2 and press as a team with Maguire on the pitch. But Tom, how did you see that game? Big up Bombay as well. We'll come to you anyway. How did you see it on TV? Because watching it on live, the second half, I thought Ten Hag and Man United got away with it today because you can't bring midfielders on and then we lose even further control. And I thought, get Garnacho on, Malanga up, and so that he can give us an outlet. We had no outlet today, zero outlet. Bruno's there getting out sprinted by fucking Zuma. Are you fucking kidding me? Right? It is laughable. So, and Rashford was shattered. And I'm like, Sancho, what does that tell you when Rashford is tired and you're not coming in the team? What does that mean to you? But anyway, give me what you thought, and then I'll go to Bombay. Then we'll discuss a lot of the talking points. I thought Diego Dalot, I thought obviously 2 good saves, 1 brilliant save. I expect De Gea to save the Rice shot because he wasn't in a corner. But that was a world-class save. The one from Zuma. That was a world-class save because he's behind him and he has to drag it out. Diego Dalot, Luke Shaw, brilliant. Martinez, obviously, he's just always 8. You know, he gets 8 from me every game anyway these days. He gets 8 from me. So he's got this high standard bar. But for Diego Dalot, David De Gea, and Luke Shaw were outstanding today. But how did you see it, Tom?
Probably similar to how a lot of people saw it, to be honest. I thought the first half it was what it was, wasn't it? We got the goal, got the lead in the game and everything. And one of the things that I've seen, not just in this game, but in particular from, I think, a lot of the games this season, is whenever we've gone ahead in games, we don't seem to drop off. We don't seem to completely switch off out the game and think, oh, we're a goal up and, you know, it's all rosy and everything. Yeah, sometimes you need to... You're not going to play every game well, and that's always one key point I will say. You're not going to play 100%, whether it be for personnel reasons, tiredness, fatigue, whatever it might be. You're not going to play brilliant football week in, week out, but it's about grinding the results out. It's about getting the points on the board and getting the victory at the end of the day. And ultimately, yeah, Ten Hag, I think, you know, we can say what we want. Mistakes were made in this game. In hindsight, if we'd, you know, maybe drew the game or something, we'd maybe be acting a little bit more, I don't know, surprised or, you know, annoyed at the result on the fixture. But you can't really argue against it in terms of the fact of the midfield quality. You know, we said in the summer, you know, I don't want to hear the bollocks, you know, again and again. We keep repeating the same thing about midfielders that we need in this team. Brought in 2. One of them was a freebie, so in my opinion, I don't really see that as a major signing because you had all summer to have gone and got Christian Eriksen, which they ended up doing in the end. You know, it took hardly any time at all to sign a free agent. You do say, you know, Casemiro was panicking at last summer, so really there wasn't any organisation to get some midfielders in. And like we say with McTominay and Fred and stuff, like the quality of drop-off from your proven players in Eriksen, Casemiro, these are proven players. You know, Casemiro, proven quality player, proven by the accolades and the trophies he's won. Fernandes, yeah, you can do it. You know, you can play the Megalon pass for 50, 40 yards. You know, you can act like, you know, Cristiano's little brother or whatever in midfield. You can do all that, yeah, whatever. You know, you might have the captain's armband on when Harry Maguire doesn't play. It's fine, but in terms of the whole uniqueness of the midfield, it doesn't seem to be balanced because you have 2 players who want the same role in that midfield. That's the problem that I see because Eriksen, for me, he wants that number 10 spot. Bruno Fernandes has the case of, since I was brought in, that has been my position since I've come to the football club. So in a way, he's made it his own position, really. But the only difference and the only problem is when I look at some of the greatest midfield trios that have won things is you have a defensive player, you have a player who is unique in terms of he has the attributes to play attacking, to go forward and also drop back, who is like, if you like, the middleman, and then you have the attacking midfielder. Manchester United have an attacking midfielder. You saw 2 of them today. Casemiro is obviously clearly the defensive midfielder. You don't have the middleman there. And that, in many senses, is probably one of the major priorities, just as much as the striker. But the performance-wise, listen, it was what it was, wasn't it? That second half, we got absolutely peppered. I thought, listen, David De Gea, we can say what we want. You know, Luis Enrique, honestly, I think you should be ashamed of yourself where you've exiled him completely from the squad. I mean, love it or hate him, yeah. Distribution wise, there's question marks there, but in terms of shot stopping, it probably if he don't make it on the top 10 rankings, I'm sorry, I think it's rigged. To be quite honest, but Martinez, quality player, like we've all said, 8 out of 10 minimum each week. He sets the standard and the precedent for that defense since he's come in, with the aggressiveness, with the tightness to players. Diogo Dalot for me, I think has been probably. I'll hold my hands up and say, yeah, I completely written him off. I didn't think that you can develop a player who was so attacking minded that he didn't look or think to check behind his shoulder to see if anybody's there. Today, he was happy to take on players like Mikel Antonio in the air. Now, to do that, I'm sorry, that shows quality, first and foremost. It shows improvement and it shows confidence. Because you could have easily have, if you chickened out into the background, let Harry Maguire deal with it, the more physical presence of player. Let somebody else come and do the job for you. He didn't do that today. And this is what you talk about with coaching and development. And probably I would say he's one of the most improved players in the Premier League by far. And I think it comes down to the coaching, first and foremost. But a lot of these players, you're seeing it now where we're playing the Thursday night, then they come into the Sunday, then you'll have another couple of fixtures coming up and stuff. You're seeing the fitness is starting to take its toll, and the running is starting to really hamper this squad. And like Mundo's just said about such as bringing Fred into the team, is the best we've got, really. That is what is on the bench. That is what we have, unfortunately. There isn't the squad depth there where you can say, oh, it's not even a debate.
Listen, Tom, it's not there. It's not there. I just want to bring Bukayo in. Big up Khalees Romedin Lassie, by the way. Big up. Bruno Fernandes booked an hour, missed the Villa game. The Villa game against Villa. Big up. Somebody's back. Bumbaye, how did you see that game? That second half for me, I thought he got it wrong. Fred was useless when he came on. And Bruno should have passed him. He would have been through on goal. But go ahead, Bumbaye. How did you see the game? How did you see that game today?
Evening, boys.
We made West Ham better than they were, bro. That's one thing I'll say. Evening. I hope you had a lovely Sunday. Or you're having a lovely evening.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lovely weekend. I enjoyed the game. I thought we played really well first half. Complete control. It was all us really at home.
We didn't create
press
too many chances, though.
Yeah, but it's not easy sometimes, They stand up well. They're that type of team. But complete control. I like what I saw first half. Really good. Recycled the ball well. Everybody played well today. That first half was good. Second half, different game. I thought some of our players had a better second half in spite of the fact that we had to stand up and take the bombardment. Maguire is one. I thought he had a difficult first half, but second half he was much better. I'd give the defense today an A. I'd give the midfield a C, and I'd give the attack a B. I thought the defense was brilliant. Luke Shaw, really good, solid. Martinez, as you said, every game, man, he's dependable. It's like whoever plays alongside him, he seems to improve his partner. I thought Maguire was good. On the whole, good second half. He cleared a lot. He did good work second half. Dalot is my man of the match tonight. I thought he was fantastic, man. Brilliant. He's our right back. I'm confident in him. He's good. I don't have anything but praise for that kid today. A lot of good clearances, a lot of really good positional sense from him as well when balls were coming in, and we cleared a lot of stuff. And David De Gea was fabulous today. 3 really good saves. He came out, cleared his lines. I think David De Gea's distribution has been over-criticised even since last year. I think his distribution is quite good, to be honest, and it's gotten even better this year. Thought the midfield was a bit quiet, and it is questionable to play Eriksen and Bruno together. I think it's good that we have them both. Competition in this team is important. There are 6 midfielders in this team. They all have a part to play. And we're going to learn a little bit more about these midfielders under Erik ten Hag. Fred, McTominay, Donny van der Beek has a part to play in this team. He could be the person that can give us that balance between defence and going forward as well a little bit. And I hope to see a bit more of him. I thought Rashford was really good today. You know, Rashford is just it's coming on, man. I'm starting to see the old Marcus that I rate so highly. I think he's having a really good season. Really good season. Thought Ronnie did well today. He was efficient with the ball, kept it simple. You know, he did well. Ilanga not bad, but you can see it's a different ball game when Anthony plays. But it's good to see us. We can get through a game like that, get bombarded and stand up, and we're showing different facets as a team. This team folds in previous season under that type of pressure, but the defense is really standing up a lot. It's been, to be honest, the highlight of Ten Hag's era so far. It's becoming really dependable, that defense, and it's getting better, and players are improving all the time. So today, you know, you can't play great every week, but the first half was really good. Second half, you know, I thought Antonio made a big difference for them. He did well. I thought Ben Rahma played well for them as well. And, you know, they're going to go for it. They've got nothing to lose. Any team that is down, you know, what are you going to do? Take no points? You go for it. So they
Well,
did.
at the end of the day, I thought that we allowed them that because we didn't control the midfield. Obviously,
Well, what we tend to do
they changed their whole team around on Thursday.
I think
in the Europa Conference, so they rested the majority of their team. Obviously,
well, I think that Manchester United seem to do that thing where we score a goal sometimes, and we've seen it in previous, like against Tottenham. That's the game where for 90 minutes we were unreal. But I don't think you can do that every week. And, you know, Thursday night will take its toll a little bit. But we still have, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but we still do that thing where we start getting, going into our shell ever so slightly more and more and more. And then we invite a little bit of that pressure. But it will come.
Listen, I'm sorry, Mumbai. I don't want to burst your bubble. But we cannot play the football we played against Spurs with Maguire on a pitch. No effing way can we play like that.
Maybe. Well, I mean, I didn't say we could, but you have to understand this season.
You have to go to the game. You have to go to the game to see it with your own eyes. We cannot. Get that out of your head. Leaving 2 against 2 at the back. We cannot. He's positionally, his scanning is terrible.
Hang on a second. Hang on a minute. Listen, did I just say?
Let me finish. People are talking about, and the ball's been hoofed up, then Maguire can head and stand up to it. But when everybody's closer to him, when we're playing inverted kind of like fullbacks in midfield, no way, no in the hell way can we play like that.
Yeah, maybe not. I didn't say. Look, listen.
People are hoofing the ball to him. Yes, he can defend.
Right, look, fucking hell.
He can't defend spaces. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything for you to just reply like, what did I say to just get you going like that? I didn't say anything.
No,
what did I actually just say about Maguire that makes you reply like that?
In Man United, think that we can play that type of football that we played against Spurs, against most teams, we cannot with Maguire in the back. I just want people to realise that point. That football cannot happen because we can't squeeze the game and press like that. And where everybody's at it, where we're leaving Varane and Martinez 2 against 2. We can't do it with Maguire.
Yeah, okay. That is a fair point. It is I'm not saying that we can. I'm just telling you about today's game. But Manchester United have a tendency still to sometimes go a goal up, start to go to sleep a little bit, go into our own shell, and we start inviting pressure. What we need to do, and what Ten Hag will do, is when it is like that, the key is to hold on to the ball a little bit better, recycle the ball a little bit better, just to slow that game down and take the edge away from the opponent. That just comes with keeping better possession. You don't have to do anything with it. Just recycle it a little bit, slow it down, kill that, and that will come. But to me today, it's another good day, good 3 points, and progress again. So no complaints, man.
honestly, there are a lot for me to complain about because second half I thought we were abysmal. I know we were tired. I know we're tired, but we were abysmal. Like everything you said, Man United we need to take the sting. We need to learn how to take the sting out of the game and then be able to pass the ball around and openings. And it was just Maguire kept hitting that long diagonal ball to absolutely nobody. No effing buddy. Giving the ball to them. Giving the ball back to them. And I kept saying
it was wasteful.
And then and last night's review, I did say specifically, if you miss Bissouma out, you can get at their fullbacks in terms of the ball in the air. And what a fantastic goal for Rashford. Like I said, I repeat it. 85th anniversary today, actually. 85th anniversary for 85th anniversary. 85 years Manchester United have had a youth player in every matchday squad. No other team in Europe or in the world can ever say that, right? No, that's Man United DNA. 25th birthday tonight. I hope he gets the day off tomorrow because he effing deserves it. But what a absolute, that's a dunk header. That's like a dunk. He dunked header. That's a dunk header. That's not. I remember Rashford back in the day used to go like this. Do you remember? You all remember?
Close his eyes and
close his eyes and go like that with the ball. That's not happening. But anyway, people, Therapy Army, where are you? Sam Niasse is being found. Let everybody know. Call up the 999. Ring the police. Tell them we don't need to. Can we cancel that missing persons request, please? Can we file that report that we filed because we had to ring the police down in Edgware Road to let people know that Sam Niasse went missing. His boys took beatings. Southampton should have smashed them, bullied them, and then Rude slapped them up in Rotterdam. But all of a sudden, they beat bottom of the league. And Sam Niasse comes back and finds himself a voice. Man's been missing in action. He says, Nuruddin, another grinding out performance. Did you see our 5-star performance? 5-star, my ass. Nottingham Forest have 24 players they've bought. They're not going to gel quickly. And talk about grind out. Our grind out at home was not as bad as your grind out against Leeds away. You were horrendous. I still don't know how you won that game. I still do not know how you beat Leeds. So, Sam Niasse, come better than that. You've been missing in action. Soon as Arsenal been getting a divorce, just like one of our friends, Mundo knows, and Bumbaye knows, man like Thompson, missing in action. Don't hear from him. He's like he goes to another universe, another planet when Arsenal get bad results. You never hear from him. Never hear from him. But today, Man United, we had to grind it out because we were tired, and I thought he got the substitutions wrong. I absolutely got the substitutions totally wrong. We had no outlet. Bruno went, Elanga goes, so bring Garnacho on. Garnacho is somebody that might frighten, makes their left back think, oh shit, I can't go too much forward. I thought their best player was Benrahma. I thought Diego Dalot, his heading ability. How many headers did he head away in that back post? The nightmares we used to have. We used to have nightmares watching that. Big up Hassan Yusuf and Kelly's Remedy Lassie, Chief Reporter United Real Therapy. Let's get into some quotes. But I'll come and ask you this. I'll stay with you actually. Genuinely, Bumbaye. I know that I got triggered because we said something about Maguire defending. Yeah, when everybody's all defending the box, when everybody's close to Maguire then can go for his head and can go. When there's spaces and you have to rely on your own competency, when you're a competent professional footballer, Maguire is absolutely horrendous. He is horrendous. And I see it with my face. And I know that now I can't say too much because this is his first game back since a month and a half, right? For a month and a half. This is his first game back for a month and a half, right? And I can't be too harsh on him, but I'm telling you, he can't scan. He doesn't, your positioning is horrendous. He's too much on his heels. So I'll stay with you, Bumbaye. Just a short paragraph, just a short couple of lines. Just tell me, and I'll go to Mundo and I'll go to Tom as well. Just let me know, do you think we can play the football that we played against Chelsea and the football we played against Spurs? We could play that football with Maguire at the back, where we leave in 2 against 2 in the back line, on the halfway line.
Looking at him now, No, it's not quite as straightforward as having it with a pacey guy like Varane. You'll have a little bit less as well with Lindelof. I mean, Maguire's at the bottom of the food chain at the moment. He has to, at the very least, he usually, one of his good things is that he's a good passer before, picks out the right passes. But at the moment, it's his passing's really poor. He gave the ball a lot away today. He was the weak link when we were trying to play out. So no, today you saw him again. He's just cumbersome. He's not quick. He's very slow. That's not his game. So I don't know how Ten Hag is going to fit him into that. And it's I'm not sure how Ten Hag's going to fit him into that. But you know what? We just have to. I'm looking at it.
Go ahead.
If you want to play that high line type of football, maybe he might have to adapt things a little bit to fit Maguire in. And it depends how valuable Maguire can become to this team. Can he improve?
If Man United were Man City, and I know that's weird, get that into your heads, yeah? If Manchester United had the football structure that Man City have, he would be gone in January. He would be gone. It'd be like handshake, see you later, it's been a pleasure, bye. And then a centre-half will be bought in that can actually play 2 against 2 on the halfway line, because that's how Man United need to play. But I'll go to Mundo. Mundo, genuinely, do you really genuinely see what we're talking about? Top form Harry Maguire. I don't know how he develops scanning, Mundo. I don't know how he develops being on your toes other than always being on your heels. How he develops that. Just one touch and then getting it out of his feet and quickening the play up. Because the longer you take, the slower you take from playing out from the back, the more you ponder, the more you faff about, right? The more you faff about, the easier it is to defend when you try to play through the lines and you're building it from the back. So explain to me how Maguire plays 2 against 2 for Man United when Man United want to press and play this aggressive front foot football.
Well, I think when Lindelof gets over his illness, he's got to come in to the team. As I said before on previous streams, Lindelof for me is ahead of Maguire because I think Lindelof is a better passer of the ball and more mobile. And the thing is, what frustrated me today in the first half, there was a lot of that side to side passing between the 2 centre halves, which I thought we'd gotten rid of. Like, when you got Varane and Lisandro in there, Varane knows his limitations on the ball, so he gives it to Lisandro. He drops off or whatever to create the passing angles, and then Martinez can punch it into the midfield. Whereas today, Maguire just passes the ball, stands there, so it's back and forward across the back line, with no balls being punched into the midfield. And so it affects our build-up play. He's not press resistant. So there was an incident in the first half where he got pressed and he kind of tried to do a 40-yard cross-field ball and fell over at the same time, and it was cut out by their fullback. On the ball he was very, very ponderous. And it impacts on Dalot's ability to go forward because he knows I can't go forward because I've got to cover for this guy. And I also saw as well, which I didn't really see much of him doing, Casemiro, in previous games, was dropping in between the 2 centre-halves. He's normally further up the pitch, like cutting out passing angles or pressing. But today he was doing that whole... Someone said in the comments, it was a bit like Ollie football. It was a little bit like that.
100%. 100%. It reminded me. And at times, Mundo, I don't know if you guys watching it at home, but in the stadium, there was times where Casemiro went as the centre-half, getting the ball, passing it back and just try to play it out because Maguire couldn't do it. And for a long time, they were like, don't give it to him. Don't give it to Maguire. Just Martinez. And then one thing I've got to say, West Ham, you got to give credit, West Ham were good at, was that they were cutting out the passing lanes because they knew Martinez gets on the ball. So they had like 2-3 players there cutting out the passing lane. So anybody that, where Bruno's dropped, where Rashford would come short, where Ronaldo would drop, they cut out the passing lanes for that. So West Ham were almost saying, Give it to Maguire because we know he's shit on the ball. Give it to him. And that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing.
But the thing is, as well, is like when Martinez plays a pass, yeah, he does play crossfield passes and stuff, but most of his passes are like short or straight into the player's feet into midfield so they can turn and attack. Every time Maguire tries to play a pass, long ball, long ball, long ball.
Mundo,
It's like sometimes just play into the midfield.
It was like he was playing for them.
Yeah, I think. Look, as I said before, my frame of reference now when I refer to Maguire is not as a starting Man United centre back. So when I critique him, I'm critiquing him as though he is a backup centre back. So as a backup centre back, he did a fairly good job today as a backup. But what we saw today is he cannot be. But you can't have an £80 million backup. You can't have the England #1 starting centre back as your backup on your bench. It's just not feasible. So he's going to have to be moved on, right? He will have to be moved on. And as soon as Lindelof is fit, he needs to come in. Because I think he's more mobile. He's a better passer. What we do lose, though, is that aerial kind of protection, right?
True. It's true.
Because Lindelof's not great in the air. He's got a bit of a square head. So he's not great in the air. So from set pieces, we have become a little bit more vulnerable because Varane's been a machine in the air. But we've only got 2 games to go, albeit we've got Mitrovic coming up soon. We've got to go away to Fulham. So that's going to be interesting if Maguire's in the team. Because he's one of those old school centre forwards that he's good in the air, he's good at hold up play, but he's also, he's a bit like, he reminds me a bit like a Diego Costa type, you know what I mean? He'll stand on your foot. He's one of those. He's wily, so you have to be careful.
Listen,
Maguire.
I'll go to you, Tom. I'll go to you, Tom. Tom, what do you think? Let me just get this Jarvis Cocker.
Go on.
Let me just get this super chat. Big up Jarvis Cocker, by the way. Big up. Honestly, we got away with one. But honestly, being in the stadium, I don't know what it was like at home, you watching it. But it was corner after corner, like free kick after free kick. They kept banging that ball in the middle. It was just nerve-wracking. I bit all my nails. You can see. I don't know if you can see. All my nails are done. They're done, and I'm screaming. Rashford. He's fatigued. They're both fatigued, and I'm like, get him off the pitch. But anyway, big up Jarvis Cocker. He says that's completely right. Varane knows his limitation and leaves the passing to Martin. Unfortunately, Maguire has no. Of course, he has no self-awareness. And the thing about it, what happens? They've figured it out. You see Varane, one of the games, I don't know who he was against, but a couple of games at home away, where he was dilly-dallying like Maguire on the ball, like taking too many touches. The second game, bang, one touch to control it, the other touch, bang, 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 get it out of your feet, bang. So please try to explain to me, how do we get an £80 million player and the captain of Man United to be able to play 2 against 2 at the back when we're pressing football from football? Tom.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear you say. I didn't hear you say anything already. You just stopped.
No, sorry. What I said was, how do we get an £80 million England international captain for Man United to play football where we leave 2 against 2 halfway line?
Well, you play suicide football and you do Istanbul Başakşehir where you have all the team in one half, don't you? That's really the only way that you can do it. And just hope it doesn't get caught on the ball and hope you get a decent game and it's lucky. But if you want, a more in-depth answer, you don't play him at all. It's simple. Like, I don't want to hear anything about injuries and stuff like that. Those first 2 games of the season prove that he can't play the front heavy metal football that Erik ten Hag wants to do, where he wants to control games and dictate against teams and bring that fear factor. Attackers do not fear playing against Harry Maguire.
Tom, stop there 1 second. What about this Windy Grant always making a valid points, always interesting takes? Does the panel think Tuanzebe has a place in the team when he recovers? Because Tuanzebe's pace is amazing. Like, his pace is... If Varane's good, Varane's position is amazing. Varane's quite quick, but Tuanzebe is amazing.
Yeah, but I think Tuanzebe is a Man United Varane. in many cases. You can't rely on him week in, week out because of the injuries. That's the only thing I would say with that. But with Harry Maguire, like I was saying, nobody fears him. Because if you get him one-on-one, you rip him to shit. It's as simple as that. If you and Mikel Antonio, you'll body him to the floor. Like nobody fears him. You play against Alessandro Martinez, for example, who's been on hot form, and obviously this team thrives around him. The defense, I've never seen it be so compact and aggressive. Like there's actually a togetherness. They actually enjoy playing as a back four. And Luke Shaw, for example, people have written him off in many cases. I'll be real. I was one of them. But whenever we seem to bring in competition, he goes from nothing to Superman all of a sudden. And you can see the condition.
And you know what?
It's conditioning as well, though, Nuruddin.
But Tom, we've seen this before. We've seen this film before.
Yeah, of course we've seen it before.
When he's got to play for a new contract, the gears go up, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm not. Listen, I'm not here for this though. If we want to talk about conditioning, some of these players have been conditioned now for a good couple of months, where they're actually playing you're playing week in, week out. The intensity of that, you've got the fitness drills, you've got the training. It's so much more tactical based because you know how tactical Ten Hag's teams are. But ultimately, we said this team this season, regardless of the personnel, they had to turn up, and they had to win the fans back over, because for that final 3-4 months at the end of last season, they gave up. Let's be honest, they hung out to dry. They gave up on every single fan that paid a ticket, that travelled to those games, that went to Old Trafford. They gave up on you. I'm sorry, these players, they absolutely gave up on you. And yes, you've brought in some players who ultimately they're like furniture at this football club now. Martinez, could you ever see him getting dropped? Never in a million years if he's fully fit. Undroppable. Probably top 3 on the team sheet week in, week out now. And ultimately with Harry Maguire, I'm sorry to say it, Mundo said it, Bumbai said it, I would probably just cut our losses now. You were on about exiling Ronaldo a couple of days ago about suspending his contract and everything, terminating it. If you can't find a club for Harry Maguire, if he's a free agent, I tell you now, David Moyes would have him tomorrow. As a free agent, David Moyes would ring Harry Maguire's cell phone number up and then have him in that back four, ahead of somebody like a Craig Dawson or a Kurt Zouma. Easily. Why? Because he's an England international. And regardless of where he goes, or even if he doesn't play, Gareth Southgate still picks him for some reason. And the reason why is what? Because in a back three, that is Harry Maguire's football. Back 3 football, back 5. That is his football. That is his level. But that isn't this manager's philosophy. That isn't his aim. That isn't his formation. It's a million miles away from that. And that is why he won't ever get near this team or this manager.
Listen, I want to stay with you, Tom. How do you think Ronaldo played today?
I think he had to turn up, personally. I think he did. I think, listen, we've said before about, attitude and discipline and stuff. I think ultimately he was portrayed as the villain in the case against Erik ten Hag. People wanted to go against the manager and stuff. Of course they do. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's, one of the greatest players of all time. Absolutely. But that's from the pundits. As the fans of the football club, I think everybody could see that Cristiano did wrong. And I think ultimately, looking from the outside and taking some time to reflect, I think he's looked at it and thought, yeah, I did the wrong thing and I did the stupid thing. And ultimately, he's had to try and burnt the bridges down multiple times this season. It's not the first time where there's been a clash between him and the manager. But there has to be a level ground now until you either get these final 5 games out of the way, get the World Cup done, and then go in January, Cristiano, or you see out the rest of the contract till the end of the season. But you've got to do what's best for yourself, and Ten Hag's got to do what's best for the team.
Exactly. Big up. Listen, big up. By the way, people, it's nearly 200 if you're here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you get the notification bell. It lets you know that when we're next live, people. So please do that. Become part of the community and share. Get involved, Therapy Army. It's the only place where everybody gets read out. We read out a majority because we're a community. Nobody thinks anybody's opinion is better than anybody else's. This is a this is a collaboration. We do the show together, people. So big up to the Therapy Army always. De Gea, one of the two saves properly. The harder was Zuma. Of course it was. I expected De Gea to make the save from Rice because he wasn't in the corner. But the Zuma one, because he was always behind him. De Gea says to save properly. The harder one from Zuma was the best because it was almost certainly going in. But I'm happy for all of them. Happy to make the saves, and it's a massive win. It is. We've closed it out. By the way, just to give you some interesting stat. Is that Manchester United this season, from a winning position, we've not lost the lead, by the way. So that's a good sign. That's a good habit. That is an incredibly good habit. Man United have not lost the game or drawn from a winning position. When I've been in the winning position, we've won the games. We've not gone back. So big up to Man United for that. Big habit. Erik ten Hag, I think we need to match the game, but it's clear. Of course it's clear. Honestly, that second half, being in that stadium, it was a heart attack for all of us. First of all, Maguire's in the team. Everybody's talking about Maguire going, oh my God, Maguire. And then there was a spate in the first half for about 10, 15 minutes where he was so nervous. He made everybody in the stadium, his teammates, everybody was nervous. Martinez started losing the ball. Casemiro started losing the ball. They all got the Maguire shakes, if you know what I mean. Maguire shakes, where everybody started shaking. Honestly, that's what happened. But I'll come back to you, Mumbai. How did you think Ronaldo played today? Watching it on telly, obviously.
Well, Telly Stadium, you see the same game there, didn't?
No. Let me explain to you. Mundo can back me up here. When you watch the game on television, the camera follows the ball. When you're in the stadium, you see the whole picture. You see the movement. You see what's going on, who's dropping in, who's going short, who's going long. Like, you see everything. That's the difference. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you watch at home and all you do is follow the ball, then you might miss something that somebody in the stadium doesn't see. But if you're watching other things, then you have the same perspective. I've been to many games, like most people have. So it just depends on how you watch the game. Most people might follow just the ball, but you want to look at what people are doing. You don't want to follow the ball all the time. So that's just a tip. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, I thought Ronaldo had a good all-round performance today. Good attitude. He got himself about. He played the right passes. He was efficient with the ball, and he got a few shots off, and that's what I want to see. I had no doubts that we'll see Ronaldo back. This thing was just a minor, and it'll be solved, and he'll be back in the team, and he's got a part to play. I said that when we were talking about all this Ronaldo stuff. It's not a big deal. And for Ronnie, even for Maguire, for all the players, I think you're asking me about Ronaldo, but it's important to realise that I know we all want the same things. We all want to play like we did against Spurs every week. And we all want to go to West Ham and beat them up, bust 2 goals, kill the game. And that was hopefully it will come. But there are players in this team. And one of the things that if Ten Hag gets top 4 and gets us playing good football, which is all I really can ask of him this year, is he picked up a side that was decimated, picked up a lot of players that are good players that have been written off because they had bad form for a long period. And Maguire's one of them. He's took hell, that guy, for a long, long time. So it is a long way back for him. And to give him the captaincy today, and for him, he played an important part in that second half, because there are games where Ten Hag, what I like about him is, I know you and Mundo why you want him, and I've seen snippets of why you want him. He's a good shout. But I think Ten Hag is not just a philosophy-based manager. I think Ten Hag has also got some pragmatism in him. And he approaches every game as a game, and he understands the strengths of the opposition and what they are potentially going to do. So in a game like today, when Varane's out, you're better off putting Maguire in than Lindelof, because he did us a lot of good that second half the way it went. So certain games, certain players that we might not favour, who are trying to find their feet again, because this Harry Maguire that we've seen is not the Harry Maguire that we signed. I don't think we signed an £80 million player. He never was. But I do believe that he's a lot better than what we've seen. A lot of these players are. So I think we've got to bear that in mind. But Ronaldo has a part to play this season. If he goes in January, fine. He goes with my blessing. But I don't think we're going to sign a striker in January. I think this is it. Top 4, end of the year, take stock. Few will move on, and we'll get serious in the transfer market again, and then we'll come real strong. So Ronnie, I think if he doesn't go, you'll see Ronnie regular. Ronnie will play. And Martial, if he does come back, then you'll see Ronnie maybe a little bit less. But we need all these players, all of them now. Donny van der Beek will have a part to play. There's a lot of games coming up. And today, Ronaldo, man, it's good to see him back, and he did well.
Big up. Big up Khalees Romedin last at United Real Therapy. Diego Dalot versus West Ham. 100% aerial duels won. 100% long balls accuracy. 7 duels won. 5 possession won. 5 clearances. 4 chances created. 4 crosses. 4 tackles. 3 interceptions. Brilliant today. I thought it was amazing. Mundo, I'm going to come to you, ask you the same question. How did you think Ronaldo played at all? I totally disagree with Mbaye, but that's the beauty of football, innit? We see different things. Ronaldo can't play 2 games in a row. I thought he would look lost out there on that football pitch today. He had a first good shot. There was a chance to play Rashford. We got the ball on the second ball. We transitioned. We gave the ball to him. And I think it was Elanga and Rashford. And he couldn't even make like 10-yard pass in between the defender and Rashford to get Rashford away. I thought he was just walking around. I thought he was walking around. I don't think he was any threat at all. He had one header when we got the ball. The biggest thing for me when I did the preview last night was that yesterday evening was that we had to miss out. I went and scouted. I watched Bournemouth play against, and I watched Liverpool play against West Ham. And Zuma is incredibly amazing in the air, defending the ball. He's so good at defending headers, right? So if you're their fullback areas is where their headers in the team, how you can attack them. And Rashford obviously scored from that, because that right back did not have a clue where Rashford was today. He did not have a clue on that header. He basically did a Wan-Bissaka. But in the time, we missed out Zuma, got Ronaldo in a position. He jumped up, mistimed it totally, looked lethargic, falling on the floor, like just all of the different things that were there, like the sharpness, all of it going away. A lot of times he came short in that first half, try to get on the ball, do the step over, the things that he used to do when he was like 19, 20, in his 20s, and he can't do it anymore. He can't play 2 games in a week. He cannot do it. It's clear when you're in the stadium, you see his movement. He's not even trying to get the ball. I do think, to be objective, he did a couple of things where we played long balls to him. Other than flicking it on, he chested it. He brought a bit of calmness, because he's still got that. He's still a world-class player. But he brought the ball, like controlled it and held the ball down. But what do you think of Ronaldo today?
Have you got anything to even add to that, Mundo? I think Dino's covered every single base there before he lets you answer it.
No, because he could have a totally different point of view to me.
I don't think you've left the point of view, bro.
I think between the two opinions given, I'm going to favour yours, because I just want more from my striker. I just want more from him. I mean, his movement is non-existent. He just stands there and waits for the ball. It's like, you've got to give defenders something to think about. And I tell you what, having watched the guy that I think we need to break the bank for, I don't give a damn how much he costs, is Osimhen from Napoli. That is the kind. When I see that the way that I want Ten Hag wants Man United to play. That's the type of centre forward you need, who's just basically the job that Rashford's been doing, but can also finish. Well, he's levels above Rashford, but you know what I mean. Like moves defenders around. He's running through the channels. He's pressing. That's what I want to see my striker doing. And I think Ronaldo is. I don't know. I mean, he will score goals, but I think to the detriment of the team. I just don't think the team will function as well with him up front. I just don't see it. I'd rather play. And Rashford, don't get me wrong, in front of goal is not great, but the team just seems to function better, even with him as a number 9. Do you understand what I mean? Like, we've got to think it's not just about the striker. Goals can come from other parts of the pitch. But the striker has to create those opportunities by making runs, by pulling defenders out, by doing these types of things. But Ronaldo's not doing it. He's just static. It's like a statue. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is back-to-back games and his fitness is not there. But even last season, he scored. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He scored 20+ goals, but there were some games where his performances absolutely stank. Like he was terrible. And I know it's hard to say that when the whole team is terrible, but it's just I'm seeing the same. Like yes, he might get a goal, but his performances overall are not great. He's not reaching those levels. And that's what we need in this team. We need a proper centre forward. We might have to make do until the end of the season. We might have to, because we overspent in the summer. So that's likely, but I don't know, man. I just want. It's frustrating because I can see the green shoots. I can see the team growing. I can see the team pressing. I can see the team improving. But I just think a proper number 9 brings this team on leaps and bounds. I know people are talking about midfielders, but I'm telling you, for me, the number 9 position is critical. I think with this midfield, we can still do bits with this midfield, but until we get a proper striker, we're gonna struggle like we did today.
The only thing I would say about Osimhen, Mundo, I think Osimhen was born offside, innit? He was definitely born offside because I've never seen a striker he's so eager to get in there. He would literally frustrate a lot of United teams because at times we've had that kind of player where they just offside all the time.
But he does not give defenders a moment's peace, that guy.
Facts.
He's on them constantly, right? And he's physical and his finishing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he's got pace, he's leggy. For me, he's the perfect number 9 for Man United. That's the guy I would go for. And him and Ronaldo right now. I mean, okay, fair enough. Look at Lewandowski, for example, right? Okay, Ronaldo's got a few years on him, but at least Lewandowski's still got something other than the goal scoring. You know, he brings his other players into the game and stuff like that.
But Ronaldo, listen, Ronaldo is the first incredibly prolific inverted winger. He's not a striker. Ronaldo's never been a striker. He's never learned how to play back to goal. That's why he has to come short. He doesn't know how to play back to goal. He doesn't have all of the attributes. Who was doing that for him at Real Madrid when he was banging in 400 goals? Benzema. Benzema was holding up the ball, laying it off, playing that for him. The biggest thing for me is that I just don't see him playing 2 games in a row. I genuinely didn't see it. Nick Van Dam, make your point. We can play on Maguire. What we have at the moment. Yes, we know we can upgrade him in, but we know this for ages. Yeah. Yes. The game.
Oh yeah, Nick something. Yeah, I know you mean the English guy. Yeah, I know the guy.
But you know, like when you're asking me about Ronnie and Maguire boys, that's what we're talking on the premise that this is our squad realistically to the end of the season, and some of these players, we know where they're coming from. They're coming from a very dark place, really bad. So you just have to be objective with it. Like today, of course, we need a striker. We would love a striker. It will change everything in this team. Cristiano Ronaldo's not the answer. Martial, I don't think, is the answer. Rashford, you know what? A proper 9 will take this team to another level. But you're asking us, like, how did the players do today? Everybody knows what we need, but we're analysing a game and a situation that we're in because that is what the situation is. And on that balance of play, on taking into consideration, for example, what Maguire we've been seeing, to have the captaincy and to do that good second half we did is a plus. It's something to, okay, we take that, we move forward with it. Ronaldo's back in the team. He's cancelled. He's not cancelled his contract. He's not banished. He's had his punishment. And today there was a good attitude. He got himself about. Ronaldo, he has his limitations at 38. Of course he does. But we are going to have to call upon all of these players, whether we like it or not. And the manager realizes this, which is why you have to get everybody on side. A team with deficiencies in terms of players in certain positions is one thing, but a team with deficiencies with a dressing room that is not united is something completely different.
Okay, no, I understand that, but I'm telling you now, Ronaldo's not the answer. He's not the answer.
Nobody thinks he is. Nobody thinks he is.
I don't even think he's the answer in the current squad. I don't think he's the answer in the current squad.
Yeah,
either.
Whether he stays or
Irrespective of
not,
whether
Man
he's
United
signed
need to sign a striker. Whether he stays or not. Big up Windy Grant. It says concerning Tuanzebe and his injuries last remember Diego Dalot was also very, very injury prone until he went to China and fixed his issue. Listen, we need to send the whole. We need to send Martial to bloody Phil Jones. Everybody needs to go to China because Chinese medicine is underrated. Chinese medicine is underrated, and I
Phil
do
Jones.
remember Diego Dalot was an injury prone player. We know that. Irfan, are you listening, Irfan?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
You're on the phone or something.
He's on the bloody phone. Listen, we're talking about the game. We have to talk about that. Yeah, of course it is. That was mad, yeah. Of course we were shouting that. I stayed behind. I always stayed behind now to give him Argentina. Always have to give it him. Always. Nuruddin, didn't get I didn't get the link. Irfan, yeah. I already sent him the link, bro. He's on the phone. Eric Ten Hag says on Cristiano Ronaldo, apologize. Enough said on that. I gave the explanation. We're happy. He's here. Cristiano is an important player. Of course, he has to say that. Thursday, he scored, and we're happy about that. He can even be better, more important. Nah, you're not important, mate. Sorry. Honestly, you can't play 2 games in a week. Big up the mix. Nah, yeah. Nuruddin, please ask the fans where my Rashford haters fans slept on boys like he forgot he didn't have a proper coach since LVG. Now that with Eric Ten Hag, he's doing with the 100%, bro. We said it. I think Martial could be the answer because the team played. Martial makes Rashford play better. Makes what's his name? Sancho play a lot better. It makes our midfield better because the way he drops into holes, he holds the ball, he can feed people. He could do a lot better, but he can't be fit. He can't be fit, and we can't rely on him. But we're not.
When's he coming back? What's his injury now?
No, he had a setback. Now he's training. He's on the training ground, but he's training alone still. He's not joined in with a team yet. So it's going to be one of those.
Write this guy off, man. Forget it. Right, he's made of glass.
Yeah. Irfan, are you there? Are you there, Irf? Hang up the phone, man. Come and have your safe match reaction. Hurry up. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go to man of the match, people. Let's do the score ratings. Let's do the score. We'll get Irfan before Irfan comes back, guys. Let's get it in, man. Mundo, you start me off with David De Gea. What should you give David De Gea today?
I'm gonna give him an 8.
David De Gea 8. How much you giving David De Gea today, Bombay?
8.
I'll give him an 8 as well. Are we giving David De Gea, people? What are we giving David De Gea? Declan Rice playing at Old Trafford is inspiring. You think about the legacy, the great games that's been played here, the great players that have played here. Okay, all good.
Nice to hear that.
And having a massive conversation with somebody. De Gea a 10. Somebody's getting giddy, and Natalie's getting a bit giddy. De Gea a 9 splash. We'll give him an 8. Diego Dalot 8.5 for me. Okay. That people, like Irfan, you've got me on. Can you turn it off? I can hear it. I can hear the.
Where? I can't hear it.
Yeah, man, you've got me on. Stop it.
Come on, give us your undivided attention, Irfan.
You've got
sorry.
Me on. Have you got
But I'm
the
not.
on the screen? Have you? Okay. You've put it
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Sorry about
Okay.
that. Sorry.
Okay, give us your match reaction, bro. Give us your match reaction.
Well, no, I agree with you
You were
because
on the phone. You were on the phone. You're
Mm.
talking to somebody called Nick. Is he a striker? Can
No.
you rate?
no, Nick is a guy in New York that used to be married to a friend of mine. That's all. He's a friend of mine in New York called. Yeah. No. Honestly, I was listening to the show and then I lost it and then I lost my connection and I called you back and I was just listening. I was listening to Mondo. I was listening to Tom. I heard what you had to say. Look, I think you're right. You guys got it right. Ten Hag got it wrong in this game, especially in the second half, because he allowed them to come on to us. Our passing was super slack in the second half, right? And Fred, I was trying to work out, what's he trying to do bringing McTominay and Fred on? Is he trying to squeeze the middle? What's he trying to do? We got no fucking outlet. How are you going to, you're allowing them to come on to you, but there's no outlet. You need a Garnacho or something like to come on. This is when we needed Martial. We needed that type of player to hold the ball up, give our players a few seconds to breathe before the wave come attack, because, they're chasing the equalizer. So that was a very scratchy 1-0 win. And Ten Hag got it wrong. But it shows how weak our threadbare squad is when a couple of key guys go. We're wholly exposed. You saw the Donkey Maguire, and he knows that he's second tier now. He knows it because the gap between him and Martinez is big. It's very, very big. Okay, as a standalone football is big. So, like I said, it was a super lucky win in the end. I hate watching games like that. Fucking drive me nuts, man. And you were there. You were at the stadium. You saw it, Nuruddin. So I don't know what to say about Martinez, but Ten Hag, but I'm trying to cut him some slack, saying he hasn't watched United like you have, Mondo has, I have. He hasn't watched it that long. He hasn't seen the problems that Ole had and the rest of the guys had. So I will cut him some slack. So, we live again today, but we can't play like that against better teams. We just can't. And what are they? They're 14th or something? What position are they?
Yeah, they're low the table.
Yeah, man. So that's what I mean.
To be fair to them, listen, to be objective, they rested the whole 11.
Yeah.
I think, and then the keeper.
Yeah.
And then they rested all week, and they played their subs at the game against the Danish team.
Well, in the last 25 minutes, it showed because they were fitter than us. They were going for it, man. But our lack of intelligent football gameplay from manager and the team allowed them to come on to us. Just allowed them, And look at our passing in the last 20 minutes. Our passing is slack ass shit. What the fuck are you doing? You just keep hold of the ball, keep running it, keep hold of it. We don't have a midfield that can run with the ball. Move 15 yards turn up the field. It's driving me nuts, man. It drives me. I mean, I thought Dalot had a brilliant game. Those headers were brilliant headers, man. I didn't know he had that defensive side of him. He was brilliant. Shaw was rock solid again. I thought it was great. But again, it's like I said, when I look at it again, I'm like, Ten Hag, come on, man, please. Give the guy a chance, Garnacho. Give him 15 minutes, especially when you got no Martial. Just give him a chance. You need the outlet. So I'm just relieved, to tell you the truth. We got through one today. We were lucky today. Let's be honest.
100%. Listen, we're going to continue, people. Diego Dalot, 8.5 to me.
He gets definitely 8.5.
Listen, De Gea 8. Dalot 8.5. I'm going to go to Martinez quickly.
Well, I haven't given Dalot my Dalot score. I'm going to give him a 9.
Okay, a 9.
8.5.
Right, Mumbai, how much are you giving Diego Dalot?
Well, if I'm giving De Gea an 8 and Diego Dalot, Diogo is my man of the match, then I'll have to give him a 9.
Okay, a 9. Okay, guys. Okay, moving on to Maguire. What does Maguire get?
He's 6, man. He's a 6.
That's harsh. I'm gonna give him a
average. Mondo,
I'll give him a 7.
Average.
I'm gonna give him a 7 as well.
You think he's better than average?
Hold on a minute. A 7 for Maguire. Are you? What? Listen, forget what's in there.
He was all right, man.
Are you both smoking? I really want to know. I want you to
listen. Let me explain my rationale. Right. I as I said before, I'm rating him as a backup centre half, and as a backup centre half, he came in and did a decent job. That's why I'm giving him a 7. If I was rating him as United captain, starting centre back, then he'd get a lower score. But if he's come into a team as a backup, and he did a decent job, and we kept a clean
He
sheet.
did.
So,
No, he's right, man. Second half, honestly, he did some important work for us. I know his passing wasn't great, but he did all right, man, today.
Listen,
A
he's
7.
getting a 6.5 from me because it reminds me, Man United cannot play with somebody that slow. That the front foot pressing football we can't play. So 6.5 he gets from me, an average 6.5, and that's the 0.5 is even absolutely like generous.
He's been generous to Mundo and Al Bombaye there by giving him extra 0.5. Seriously, he is.
Listen, I have to because he cleared a couple of headers in the last 15 minutes. But
That's what he's meant to do. That's what he's meant to do.
I know that. How much you giving? Listen, to me, I always give him now an 8. I always give him an 8, Martinez. Every game is an 8, unless he has a massive drop off. So he gets an 8 from me. What are you giving
Martinez? 8 all the way, definitely 8.
I give him an 8.5.
Okay, 8.5. Bombay, how much you giving Martinez?
Yeah, we go with an 8.
Okay. By the way, he would have been 62 today. One of the greatest characters in world sport. Happy birthday to Diego Maradona. And big up Napoli for unveiling an absolute amazing statue of him today. So big up Napoli because that guy for me, what a warrior. What an absolute warrior.
Rest in peace, Diego Maradona.
What a man. For me, guys, we're coming up to a World Cup. Listen, we're going to come to a World Cup. Guys, genuinely, people are giving me a hard time, right? Your top 5 players you've ever played, we're going to do that show. So can we all agree to a night where you're over in? Tuesday night, are you all about 10:30? We're doing a show on United Real Therapy. Irfan, Mundo, Bombay, and Tom to have the best 5 players. We're going to first half an hour of the show is the best 5 players. The second half is the best goal in the World Cup. Your best ever World Cup goal. For me, the best ever World Cup goal, second goal against England, was the greatest World Cup.
Without a doubt.
Never going to beat that. I don't think any goal is ever going to beat that because Maradona was dancing. So for me, Maradona, happy heavenly birthday. 62 today. What a legend. I miss him. I miss that guy already. I love seeing him in the World Cups. I love everything about that surrounding that man. Everything was hilarious and funny.
No, I want to go for the Saudi guy. What was his name? Owarian, whatever his name. 94.
Head out, man, with that Saudi guy. We ripped the whole team.
94 World Cup. Right. So Lissandro gets how much? Lissandro gets 8.5
from me.
Going to midfield, Casemiro. I thought that was one of his poorest games, to be fair, today. Casemiro, I'm going to give him a 7 today.
6.
What are you giving him?
Casemiro 6.
6. You're giving him a 6, Casemiro.
6, yeah, 6.
Okay, 6 point. He's better than Bucky Maguire.
Bro. That's what I was gonna say. You're doing the opposite of what me and Mundo just got accused of.
Listen, he's doing a 7 for me. He gets a 7 from me because at times in that first half he was brilliant. The way you know what? When you're watching the game, no word of a lie. You know what? Usually they play a lot to Scamacca. Yeah, Scamacca was against Martinez. Yeah. Because Scamacca's gone on Martinez, not Maguire. And at times he went on Maguire. But the way he was cutting off the passing lanes, just with his positioning to the ball to go to Scamacca was brilliant. See, Scamacca didn't play that well because they couldn't get the ball to him. So for that,
He wasn't allowed to be in the game. He wasn't allowed to be in the game. Yeah.
I thought he tired the second half. I thought every time the ball went out, and this is it. Did you see on television him touching his knee like he was praying the sunnah? Did you see it? He was grabbing his knees, bending down every time. And that's the aspects of it, Bombay, that you don't see when you're watching the game because the game's always, the camera is always following the ball wherever they're throwing. Every time the ball went out today, Casemiro in that second half, from the first 3 minutes in the second half, every time the ball went out of play or there was a free kick, he was absolutely plowing his cheeks and literally putting his hands on his knees, bending down. I thought he was injured for a minute, but I'm giving him a 7. What are you giving Eriksen? I thought, other than making the goal, second half, he was wasteful on the ball. So he gets 6.5 from me. But go on, Mundo.
6.5.
But he set up the goal. Does he not get a 7 for setting up a goal?
Nah, 6.5.
6.5, Mundo.
It would have been lower. If he didn't set up the goal, it would have been lower.
Yeah, I'll go with a 6.5.
Irfan?
Yeah, just above average, I'd say. Not a super game. I wouldn't say it was a super game for him. I'd just say an average game. Average for him, yeah. 6.5.
What about Bruno?
6.
Yeah, worst game today.
Yeah.
Did you see that bit? Did you see
The
that
midfield today was
in the last 5 minutes?
no
Did
good.
you see in the last 5 minutes where he had the ball on the corner? Fred
And then
threw
he
a
kicks it
goal
straight to their midfielder.
and then gives that centrally straight to their midfielder, and then they attack us again. He was shattered. His head was gone. He didn't even. He usually claps the fans when he goes off. He went straight down the tunnel. He went straight down the tunnel. So for me, he gets a 6 to me. 6. I know that therapy army, they're a bit harsh today. Really harsh with the scores. They were giving Maguire a 4. How much we giving Ronaldo?
6.
I'm giving him a 6 for me. 6. Ronaldo 6.
Nuruddin, look at the shot on left foot, bang miles wide. Look at the header. He's late to the header. All signs of aging and your your reflexes, they're gone. Finished.
How much you giving him? 6. He gets a 6 for me.
6. If even 5.5, 6, just below average, I'd even say 5.5. He just not there at all to me. Just not there.
Yeah, 6. You know, he turned up and he didn't score or anything, but
He turned up and
did a job. 6.
Bruno was shattered, by the way. I don't think he was. I think he's just really tired because he's been working so hard on the press in the past games. I don't think he's a bad player, but I think that side of his game has improved so much, right? So much. And his ball retention is a bit better, but there were a few wayward passes. Honestly, wayward passes. So, yeah, 6. Ronaldo gets a... What does Rashford, what does the birthday boy get? 100 goals for Man United. Absolutely on the anniversary of 85 years Man United playing a youth player. It was a dunk of a header. That's like a slam dunk header, that was. We're calling it the slam dunk header. What do you think Rashford give him today for that? Go ahead, Mundo.
I want to give him a 7.5 because he was the brightest player going forward for Man United.
Okay, 7.5 for Rashford. Irfan?
I'm saying no.
7 for me only. I mean, I'm only giving it for that header. I'm not giving it for much else. I just,
What header it was as well.
Yeah, it was a great header. I loved his header in the last game as well. I don't know what it is. I need more from this guy. I know I expect too much from this guy, but 7 for me. This is where we need new players. We need a new striker, man. We need some...
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali's getting giddy for the first time ever. Big up Muhammad Ali. Rashi liked my profile picture. 10 for my birthday boy.
Nice.
Like my profile picture. Big up. He gets an 8. You know what? He gets 7.5 from me. He gets 7 because at times there was one time in the second half where he's 1-on-1 with Zuma, and I'm like, Rashi, come on, take him on. He's slow. Just give him a step over, and then back him up into the area. And then if he touches it, it's a penalty. And he then overplayed the ball, and then he made a good tackle, and the rest of it was that. What are you giving Fred and Scott McTominay? I thought Scott McTominay gets 5.5 from me. He didn't do F all.
He's a 5. He gets a 5 from me.
Right, 5.5 from me. And then Fred gets, at least he hit the bar and he gets a 6 from me. Fred gets a 6. McTominay gets a 5.5.
5 and 6 from me.
McTominay 5. He's clumsy. He's a squarehead. He's clumsy. He's just clumsy ass. This guy, no, 5 for me. 5 below average.
Okay. So I think, what about Elanga? What did Elanga? I thought in the first half, he made a couple of good runs. He didn't want the ball to feet all the time. I thought he moved defenders away a little bit to give space. I thought his intelligent running and the runs inside was really good, and that was troubling. West Ham. And obviously, this is another thing, Boumbaye, what you don't see when you watch it at home, is that off the ball, he was making a lot of those runs in that first half, and Man United players were not passing him the ball. He made so many runs spinning off.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, you know why they don't pass on the ball? Why don't they pass Elanga the ball? You know why? Because zero end product. Zero end product. Okay? Zero.
I thought for his first half performance, he got 6.5 for me. He gets Elanga because he made some good runs. And
I thought I'd give Elanga a 6.5. I thought he tried to be lively. He's always busy.
Kind, you've been extra kind today. You must have had a good day.
We're not, honestly, we're not. I'm not. I'm just telling you, off the ball, off the camera, off the TV, he was making a lot of runs, and Man United didn't.
He always does. That's his best skill, is running off the ball. That's his skill with his speed. That's his best thing he does in Man United. But it's Man United. We can't have passengers, bro. He's
a Swedish Lingard.
If Lingard's got a better output than Langer, at least Lingard had an output.
Listen, it is what it is. Listen, that's
Listen,
in your aftermath.
I think Elanga. I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a 6. I think Ben Rama was giving us trouble in the first half down that left-hand side, and I don't think Elanga was doing his job diligently. I don't think he was defending well enough.
He got substituted, didn't he?
Yeah.
So 6.5 with Elanga for me personally. A lot of people are giving him a 6. Some people are agreeing with you. Elanga, see Goulet. I don't know what you're on about. It's 3. It wasn't that bad. What you're looking at. Craig Wolby, did you go to Juicy? Because we went to Juicy. So if you went to Juicy, then yeah, Spectre Moss went to Juicy.
There was a guy at the party who used to teach at Juicy, one of the head teachers who was running the party before you guys came. He was there tying up in the venue last night.
No, that's Mr. Harper. Mr. Harper.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Mr. Harper. Mundo remembers Mr. Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big up. Listen, what did we give Eric Ten Hag today? I thought he was very lucky. Eric Ten Hag, people.
Oh, yeah.
It was 7.
6.5. He got away with it today.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 6.
No, 6, man. 6. Average.
No, you know what, Efa? Listen, 6.5 because now we've got fighters on the pitch. That
all right. So wait a second. Where does the extra 0.5 above average come from? What did he deserve that?
The mentality that some of these players have, like Martinez, who are leaders, that his players.
But but that's you can't say.
He gets that. He gets that.
He's running from.
I think West Ham,
Come on.
Do you know what? West Ham, we are.
Shit, Evan. What has he got? What can he do to bring people on? He can't really bring a striker on to play Ronaldo.
Do you know what?
You could have brought Garnacho on today, man. You could have brought Garnacho on.
You could have brought Garnacho for Elanga. You could have brought Garnacho for Elanga, and then Donny for Bruno. You could have done that.
He's not bringing Garnacho. He's not bringing Garnacho in this game because he's already alluded to it in his early after the Europa League game about the defensive side of his game. He's not.
Look, guys. Do you know what? You've got to understand. You're gonna have games where you have to accept you're gonna get a little bit peppered. Long ball football is fine when you've got big guys going at you. That's the way to play. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is the kind of thing you're going to get in some games when we've not been able to capitalize on a good spell. We will drop back a bit. Players are tired, as you said. But Eric Ten Hag, for me today, for example, I'm going with a 7 because there is an appreciation from me for what this man has done to revolutionize what was one of the worst defenses in this country. It folds under even just a little pressure. Liverpool, Arsenal, today, this defense is standing up strong, man. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy to penetrate Manchester United. And header-wise, we're clearing everything. So this is all down to Eric Ten Hag. And I've got to give him credit for that because the worst part of watching United before was, when are we conceding? Okay, now we're not 1-0 down or 2-0 down. Maybe we might start playing. We don't do that anymore. We're only 13 Premier League games in. This is one of the best defenses.
Yeah, but that means you're giving him a bonus for every time we do a review of every Man United game. Every time, I've heard that every time we do a review, that point about our defense is better. When's that going to run out? Is he going to get that all season? Yeah, the extra point for shoring up the defense.
No, you have to put things in context. It depends on what you expect every game at this part in the process. I think we're ahead of schedule. I didn't expect to be where we are now after 13 games. I'm very impressed.
Hold on there.
I'm very impressed.
You made a good point there. Let me ask the other two guys. Are we ahead of schedule at this point, Mundo, Nuruddin, or not? Answer that question for me, please. Are we ahead of schedule at this point?
No, not for me. No, we're not. No, we're not. I expected us
I think we're on schedule. On schedule.
Well, listen.
So wait a second. On schedule and not up to schedule.
Listen to me. We needed 10 players. I expected Man United to sign 8 players.
Okay. Irfan, if you ask that question, are we on schedule with the players that you have now?
No.
That's the fair question because everybody knows that this man still needs a striker at the very least. The very least. Yep. So if you rephrase the question, I think that's fairer.
No, I don't.
I certainly think we're doing really well.
Myself, I won't lie. I don't know the answer if we're ahead of schedule or not. I don't know the answer, to tell you the truth. It needs a lot more thought.
Listen, we need more quality. We need more quality. And the fact that we don't have a striker shows you in Manchester United, we don't have a striker. Martial's injury prone. And for me, I would get rid of Martial and Rashford. Sorry, Martial and Ronaldo in January because I'm done with this injury-prone bullshit. Martial is perfect for this system. The Ten Hag system, Martial is perfect. He brings the best out of everybody, but he's not fit. So when you're not on the pitch, get the F out of the club. You're 27 years old. You need to learn it's about your lifestyle. And you as a millionaire should be finding out where I can get myself the best treatments, the best things, the best habits for me to be on that pitch on Thursday.
Forget this guy. When he's back, he's back. Do you know what I mean? Forget it.
Mate, no, I'm not having it. If Man United were a proper football team, in January, Martial's gone. Ronaldo's gone. Harry Maguire is gone. Harry Maguire is gone. Right? Gone. See you later. Fred is gone. If Man United, and we would buy 4 players, right, and a right back, and Man United would go again then to go and battle for trophies. But we're not that club. We're not that club, right? We are not that club. So all I'm saying to you is Erik ten Hag is working with one arm behind his back and the other one, half of his arm behind his back as well.
All right, Nuruddin. Final question and relate to your question. I want because I want to go back to this in a couple of months' time, and you're all here to answer the question, and it's a yes/no answer. Yeah, are we going to spend any money in January? Yes or no?
No.
They've already come out and said no.
Ali Boumbaye? Are we going to spend any money?
I doubt it.
No,
Bro.
it's a yes, no.
No, it's bro. There's maybe a 10% chance, but I doubt it. I'll be honest.
That means no. So so you all agree that we're not going to strengthen in January. We all agree that, yeah. So we have to keep those players that you want to get rid of. We have to keep them.
This is the reality.
No, he's got a bloody youngsters. He's got to give some of the young players a chance. I think.
This team that you've got here, lads, is not. It's not a shit team. Many teams in the Premier League have deficiencies. We're one of them. It's as simple as that. We've got 6 players in the midfield, all good, competent players that should be able to come in and do a job. We've got, how many centre-backs have we got? 4 centre-backs. We've got 2 right-backs, 2 left-backs. We're not bad. Yes, we need a striker and another body on the bench to come on and change the game, but it's not the end of the absolute world. We've had a decent transfer window. All the players we've brought in are playing a big role. This is a process. I think, for me, the pace on the treadmill for me is a steadier pace than some of you guys. You guys want to run really fast.
No,
but for me, what I'm seeing from Erik ten Hag, considering those deficiencies and considering this team, this same group of players that we'd written off, so many of these had been written off by everybody. He's got them right back on side. We have gone and busted Arsenal, Liverpool. We should have popped Newcastle, Chelsea, and West Ham. We've played difficult games. We've played City. We've got a game in hand. We're 5th. We're going to qualify for that Europa League. We've got the cups coming up, and we're playing some really good stuff. And it's not just about playing, I want to play sexy football every week. I am seeing different things that are all contributors. We're not going to be able to play sexy football every week. We're going to have to defend some weeks. We're going to have to go deep and counter-attack some weeks. And what I like about United is I'm seeing we can absorb pressure, counter-attack and win a game. We can press high and demolish teams. I need to see a dynamic Man United. And what I like about Ten Hag is what I said at the top of the show. I don't think we've got this guy. He's not Guardiola. He's a nice hybrid between a Guardiola and a guy that's a pragmatic manager as well. And I think that is really important, to be able to adapt to whatever's in front of you sometimes and change the system.
He's only pragmatic because of the players that he's got.
No, bro. And listen, you can have a system, but you have to be able to adjust that system. You have to be able to tweak it and change it. And players have to be adaptable. This was a myth that you guys used to say, oh, you can't. You have to be able to change the system 2 and 3 times in a game. Players have to be dynamic and versatile, and I think you're going to get that with this manager.
I will just say this. At the height of Man United, when we're winning 3 leagues back-to-back, winning European Cups and all that, not every game was sexy. Not every game was amazing.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. But what we expect is players and hit splash net, hit right nail and right on the head. these
Yeah.
players are not worthy. And there's a lot of players in this team.
Untrustworthy, Noreen. Untrustworthy players.
Untrustworthy. And at the bottle jobs, cowards. There's a lot of cowards still in this football club. 30 players are registered with Man United. There's a lot of cowards. And
Yeah.
those cowards needs to be headed out. But a proper football club does that. A club that's owned by the Glazers is not. And the reason why Mundo, me, and Irfan want this process, because we know his process will be accelerated better, quicker, with the quality players that can play the modern football way. Not like some of the dinosaur cowards that we have about football club. But with that statement, guys, Tuesday night, an hour show with these three. First thing's going to be top 5 players you ever liked. The second half is the greatest World Cup goal. And if you got anyone to top Maradona's, all right, that will be in build up for the World Cup. So people, win, lose, the draw, Glazers out, bankers out, but Irfan, last word, and then we'll go around to Irfan, Mundo, and then Mumbai.
My last word is always the same when it comes to World Cup. Just watch 1982. That's all I say.
No, not the World Cup. I'm just talking about on today's game. Last word on today's game.
The last word is lucky. We got lucky. I don't know how many times we can be lucky again. That's all I want to say.
Mundo?
I'm going to end on a positive and say I'm finally watching a team I can get behind. I'm actually now enjoying watching my team again.
Fair enough.
Mumbai?
Trust the manager, trust the process, trust the players. It's going well, keep going.
Okay, we go back to trust the process. To me, it's simple. Big up there. Tim Herberson. We could have lost easy today, but David De Gea were far from competitive squad considering all the games we're playing. 100% fact. Zico and Socrates. There you go. Alicia's telling you. Hey, win.
Zico.
Well, today, Eric Ten Hag got away with it. He got
Tell Alicia. Adair as well.
Yeah,
Adair. Remember that guy.
Today, Eric Ten Hag got away with it. We got away with it being in the stadium. We were having heart attacks because we thought this is a game we're going to draw. But the statistic is where we've improved from last season. Manchester United, from winning position, have not lost a game this season. And that is something to be grateful about, people. That's great. But win, lose, draw, Glazers out! Peace.
Absolutely.